Often, parents of children with disabilities are looking for strategies and ways to help their children take the first steps in activities that most take for granted. This is Kathy and her son Billy. Billy has cerebral palsy and has a hard time walking due to his lack of muscle tone. After reaching out to the Warren Center, Billy's therapist, Kelly, works with him and his mom to show him techniques to increase his muscle strength and improve his ability to walk without assistance. Kelly teaches Billy's mom how to use a balance ball to increase his core strength and improve his muscle strength. No matter what the diagnosis is, the Warren Center is here to provide services that help young children with developmental delays and disabilities. Birth to 5 years old is a critical time for a child's development, and the Warren Center has the individuals and the tools to help children become the best that they can be. Billy and his mom see a lot of improvement in Billy's mobility and his confidence thanks to Kelly's therapy sessions and the strategies that she introduced to them. The Warren Center therapists are trustworthy experts who can help children to reach their full potential and teach parents the tools to help their children grow. You too can bring hope to a family by helping a child with special needs. Every $25 helps the Warren Center to provide an hour of therapy to each child, so please donate today. To make a donation or for more information, please visit www.thewarrencenter.org.
Our youngest, Sienna, just turned 1 year old. When she was born, they whisked her over to the side.
When she initially was born, she was very, very floppy. And she wasn't breathing very well, and she was blue.
We didn't know if it was going to be temporary. We didn't know if it was something that happened in utero or something that was a genetic condition. But I was still going every day, pumping for her at home, bringing milk up. The doctor taking care of Sienna came in and said, we've gotten some test results, and it's myotonic muscular dystrophy. She's never gonna walk, talk, breathe on her own. I stood up. I told the nurse, you can give her formula now because I don't want to pump anymore. And then I got up and left. Because I didn't want to bond with her any further, not knowing what the future was going to be like. And so we decided to keep her in the hospital and remove her breathing support.
As soon as we took off the breathing treatment, I remember looking at the oxygen levels, and they were just steady.
So we've decided in our house that plan is definitely a four-letter word that we're not allowed to say anymore. Because every time we make a plan, Sienna has a different plan. She continued just to get stronger all the time. She amazes us all the time. Her brothers and sister adore her, and she fits right in. She goes everywhere and does everything that we do. We are very grateful for this time for her and very proud of all the things that she has done and that we have done and that our kids have done, and all of our support system to really make sure that Sienna has the best quality of life for as long as she's here.
You know, we knew that we were going to need more help.
Sienna's family contacted us when she was just 9 weeks old. Our first step was to conduct a comprehensive developmental evaluation and determine what sorts of therapy services would be needed for her and her family.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm a physical therapist here at the Warren Center. I met Sienna about 10 months ago when her and her parents came in for their initial evaluation. Sienna came to be pretty weak overall.
When we brought her to the Warren Center, we sat her down on the floor, and Sam sat right down next to her. Sam was doing our evaluation and started just rolling her around like a rag doll and doing all kind of stuff, manipulating her, asking questions, and I knew then that it would be the perfect fit.
Families are a lot of times coming home with this baby and they have no idea what to do with them. Our role is to go in and teach the families what to do. But the biggest part, I think, is us empowering the parents to do it themselves.
The model that the Warren Center does, we really like as well, because they empower us to do the care the rest of the week.
By going into the home, by meeting families where they are, to be there right away to make sure families get started on the right track.
When we started, it felt more like an obligation. And I think once Sam came into our home, that it has become so much more of a get to than a have to.
This is just the beginning for Sienna. It's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. We are really excited to see all the things she's going to accomplish.
One thing that everyone at the Warren Center has helped inject at least into me, is positivity. And to just look past the diagnosis and see Sienna for the wonderful human being that she is, with the potential that she has.
We're serving families in your community, and we need the community's help to support these services.
Sentinel event that caused us to take her out with our family was the Christmas event. And I think that was actually the first time that we actually left the house with her as a family. And it was because of the Warren Center that we did that. That led to the next outing, and that led to the next outing. We can't hide from the diagnosis, but it doesn't have to hinder our lives. It doesn't have to hinder our other children's lives. And the Warren Center has helped us get to that point. The steps are going to be small, but she's going to make progress. She's going to have these improvements, and it's been a joy to watch.
Giselle was born normal. There was no complications. There was nothing wrong. Everyone was so in love with Giselle. Everyone. They called her a little baby doll. At her 6-month checkup, Her doctor noticed that she wasn't holding her head up anymore. They have not been able to diagnose her with anything. They mentioned global developmental delay. We have been to neurologists, neurosurgeons. She has been to genetics doctors, and she has had so much testing done. They still have not been able to give us a concrete diagnosis.
My name is Timothy Villa. I'm a speech language pathologist. We work on speech intelligibility, articulation, language, communication, and engagement or social skills, and feeding. I first met Giselle in December of last year. She has global deficits, meaning multiple areas: gross motor, fine motor, and then communication. She cannot verbally produce words. So what we are working on right now is giving her some other form of communication. That can be something very low level, like pictures to express what she wants, or touching a picture to indicate what she wants. Right now we've built up to using a 4-button machine that when she pushes a button, it says a pre-programmed sentence. One button will say, "I want bubbles." One button will say, "I want a cookie." She's learning how to functionally communicate her wants and her needs, which will be translated to button devices, or maybe an electronic device like a tablet, where she can use that to make her selections to form her sentences.
I'm Jenna Zanzler. I'm an occupational therapist here at the Warren Center, and I work in the clinic program with kids aged 3 to 8. So when I met Giselle, it was virtually because we were still in lockdown from coronavirus, so I had to do her assessment over the computer. In January or so, she was able to start coming into the office for therapy services. We were given a TheraSuit and all the equipment that goes with it, and it just so happens that Giselle's the perfect candidate for this device. It's a suit that you actually put on over the child's clothes, and you attach bands, and the bands provide support or resistance to help the child with movement skills they may not already have, or to provide support where they don't already have the strength to support themselves. Since Giselle has a lot of motor delays, she was great for that. So we do put her in the suit when she comes here to work on her abdominal strength and sitting and standing, and now she's rolling, getting herself up more efficiently. She can be in quadruped. She's got more strength with side-to-side reach. And a lot of kids scream when they see that they're a suit, but she's excited about it. So she has to know it's helping her.
Donations to the Warren Center really mean that we're able to provide quality services to these kids, and we're getting more and more kids in, which means we're going to need to grow. Our clinic is growing, which means our staff needs to grow, which means our materials need to grow.
So something great about working with the Warren Center is we do what's best for children and families. So if you're having trouble with insurance or you don't have the money to do the services, we have ways to work with families so they can get the services that they need. We were able to do some of that with Giselle while we were working through insurance issues, because there's no reason for this child not to be receiving therapy, and anywhere else she might have been put on hold. But here we saw her through the whole thing. So the donations that you give our company help us provide those services for kids like Giselle who really need the help.
This was my first pregnancy, going through it without my mom. I was going through a hard time, emotionally, mentally. Giselle was my little girl. She was the surprise for us. And I didn't know, but she was what I needed. The Warren Center, they're the ones helping my daughter. They're the ones getting her where she needs to be. She started doing so much. They helped us so much. I was so scared. I thought she was never going to be able to do any of it. It's pretty much my family, my support group. So it's really beneficial for all the families that do get help from the Warren Center.
I'm Katie Dela Cruz.
I'm Christian Dela Cruz.
And this is Penelope Dela Cruz. Say hi, Penelope.
Say hi.
We went for our first sonogram, and she had an irregular heartbeat, and they referred us to a specialist. And that's when the specialist told us that she would be with the delay of Down syndrome.
Individuals with Down syndrome present with low muscle tone, and a lot of their milestones are delay. Of course, early on, we didn't really know much about the condition.
So we went to her pediatrician after she was born. He referred us to the Warren Center, and that's when we met her first ECI specialist.
Our goal at the Warren Center is to do what is best for this child and this family. For example, Penelope's family, we started off doing an evaluation. We listened to the parents' concerns, we evaluated Penelope's strengths and her weaknesses, and then we developed a plan with Penelope's family to address Penelope's needs as well as her family's needs. We want to make sure every parent feels connected and bonded to their child, and sometimes that's difficult when a child has a disability. We believe that the parents are the child's best teachers, and so we're there to help support them and providing strategies to them that they can incorporate into their natural routines. We invite you to empower families like Penelope's by volunteering, by advocating, and donating. 90% of the donations to the Warren Center go straight into programs. We serve the North Dallas community. It could be your coworker, it could be your friend, it could be your neighbor.
Your donations give my child a chance of having these multiple therapies and giving her the socialized skills to be able to meet other children and just function as a regular child.
Your donation helps a blind child explore their environment. Your donation helps a child take its first bite. Your donation helps a parent hear the words, "I love you," for the first time.
My name is Dina Al Saeed. I am the mother of Ibrahim Abe Al Saif, my 7-year-old son. He was diagnosed with ASD, hyperactivity, and nonverbal about 5 years ago. He is special needs and I'm a special needs mom, but I do not let that define me or my son. I had to learn from watching my son that he's trying his best, and me as his mother, I have to give him my best as well.
So Abe's mom sought us out for therapy. She called the Warren Center's Early Childhood Intervention Program when he was a toddler. And I was assigned to go out to the home. We did a comprehensive evaluation to see what his strengths and weaknesses were at that time and to see where we could target therapy. So I worked with his mom and Abe at the house on beginning to get his communication skills, his social skills, and developing all that starting from a young age.
Abe came to me at age 3 after being part of the ECI program here at the Warren Center. The first time I saw him, I couldn't get him to sit down. I couldn't get him to come follow a simple direction. You know, being willing to hold things in his hands. When I first met him, he didn't want to hold a spoon. He didn't want to hold a crayon or a marker, anything. We had to work on tolerating things touching his hands, then being willing to hold them, and then being willing to do what you're supposed to do with that item. So now he'll, use a spoon to feed himself, color on a requested target, and his mom really wants him to write his name, so we spend a lot of time working on that.
It has been a remarkable change, taking a family that needed help and didn't understand a lot of things that was going on with Abe, but through ECI and through the clinic of helping Abe, we were able to go in and help the whole family. We saw a family, again, that needed help to a family now that gives help. The Warren Center is so important to the families, but we could not do it without the support of the community.
We do get funding for kids. This is the only place I've ever worked where people donate money and give us grants so we can see kids whose insurance doesn't cover enough of their visits or doesn't cover social skills groups, and the parents are so grateful for that opportunity.
The Warren Center is there sometimes when families are fresh days out of the hospital, helping these families get off on the right foot. And so we're there to help support the family, to help make connections with these families and their children, and give them the support that they need.
Your donations help the Warren Center. For $25, you're able to fund 1 hour of therapy. Today, I don't know where my son or my family would be without having the services received from the Warren Center. In the beginning, yes, it was at-home services, but from at-home services, it grew into being a part of our family. If we didn't have that center, my son would not be as successful as he is today. Imagine how many more children could benefit from receiving services at the center. So to see my son now, fast forward 5 years, he'll be going into the 3rd grade this year. Yes, he is in a special needs classroom, but the fact that my son is in 3rd grade, he's gonna be a little boy going to school happy to see his classmates. I never thought I would see that day. When I see my child comprehend settings or understand where he's at, when I started to see my son sing and talk, I could not believe that my nonverbal child would have this ability. And then the first time I heard "I love you," I literally I couldn't handle it. I was overcome with emotion. And without the Warren Center realizing what they did for us and helping us, they kept my family together. Because there was a time when I wanted to give up and walk away. But if it wasn't for all of the staff, I don't know if I would be who I am now or my children would be who they are.
Hi, I'm Lasandra Jackson, and this is my baby girl, Constance Jackson. When she was born with tesseract 3 and tesseract 11. That is a facial cleft. It's very challenging and very big when you have to go through a child with differences, whatever differences that might be. Her time at the Warren Center was just awesome. The therapists that came in, they were very, very nice. They were very, very informational. And so they taught me basically not to be overprotective with what she's doing, that she will be a natural, that she will use her hands. And to this day, that's exactly what she does. For those that feel like they have no place to go, need therapy when their children need help with speaking or with using the hands or with walking, the Warren Center is the place. She's growing, she's happy, she has a great personality, she's beautiful, and I'm very thankful.
Hi, I'm Constance. I'm nephew Warren Center. Because they have kids. You can be a superhero. Bye. Elias.
Say it again.
My name's Elias.
Elias, who is that?
Gravy.
Gravy.
We're the Demolakis family, and I'm Dimitri, and this is Julie, and this is our little guy, Elias.
Elias was born with achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism, and it occurs in, they give a range 1 in 15 to 40,000 kids. His long bones are short, basically, so his arms and his legs are short, his body is average size. He also has lower muscle tone. He's had some challenges there as well.
We just didn't want him to be behind when it came to going into kindergarten. We just want to stay ahead of it.
We didn't really know what to do to help him before. There aren't a lot of providers, there aren't a lot of therapists that have experience, in particular, working with kids with achondroplasia. He's got to do everything the other kids do. Some things are harder for him, but he's still got to do it. Yeah, we're so grateful for the Warren Center. It's great to have such a great resource right in our community. It's convenient, and the therapists, everyone at the Warren Center has been so helpful and so caring, and I think they helped us to get creative in how to do things and different things to work on. We never worked on hand strengthening with our older son, so with him we've worked on that, and we've got some exercises to do there, and he loves going to the Warren Center.
Just as he's progressed, he can do more things. He can, going to the bathroom, things that we take for granted, that's all been a big accomplishments that he's been able to do.
The fact that he thinks he's going to play with his friends, he's not going for therapy, he's going to play with his friends, and we just couldn't be more happy or more grateful for what the Warren Center and its therapist has given our family.
I believe the Warren Center has helped us, helped Elias become more independent, and just seeing him progress and become a big boy really touched us in a way that it's made it special.
Now you can say your name, right? What's your name?
Elias.
We would just encourage any family in the DFW area who has a child with any special needs, developmental delays, to really look into the Warren Center. We could not be happier with the progress that we've seen, and just with the level of service and just how caring every single person is at the Warren Center.
I'm gonna die in the Warren Center.
There you go.